Now, this shouldn't be seen as a definitive British officer's wallet litter or pocket litter, because everyone was different and everyone would have different things, whether, for example, with smoking. Some people didn't smoke, some people smoked pipes, some people smoked cigarettes, etc. So, let's get down to first things first. You'd have a paybook. This is a Second World War one, but it's virtually exactly the same as the First World War one. It's an officer's one, and unfortunately it's falling to bits. But there's the this is for the uniform, and so some paybook. See if I can get the camera to focus. This is so yeah. That's the sizes, etc., etc. His name, etc. All that stuff. And also, so you'd first have that, and then virtually everyone would have one of these, which is some money. Everyone needs money because everyone needs to eat, and you'd be being paid pretty well. This is a 10-cent piece from Belgium, 1916 dated. So I just thought I'd throw that in there because if you posted around Belgium during the First World War, you'd be given money to spend in Belgium. This is a book that came out, I think, just before the beginning of the First World War. It's by it's a reprint. It's by Lieutenant General Sir Robert Baden-Powell, the founder of the Scouts. But he was involved in the Boer War, I believe. And that was only about 10 years between Boer War finishing in, about 12 years between the Boer War finishing and the First World War beginning. So some of those things would still be relevant, but some of them tactics might be a bit iffy. This is a photograph, an original photograph. Try and get the camera to focus in on it. Just want to of some officers and men. I've no idea. I think they're some sort of light infantry. I'm not sure. Anyway, that could be blood, or that could just be coffee stains or something like that. With one pad. It's pretty nice. I got a postcard of Edward the Seventh. Camera doesn't want to focus. Come on. And so there he is in all his grandeur with his rather ridiculous Napoleonic style hat, and yeah, it says the date he ascended the throne, when he was born, and when he died. So he had 9 years reign. His mother had, I think it was 60 something. And so he's got his cloak on. Anyway, so that's that. So soldiers would probably have those and pictures of their family at home. Apart from I've not got that. So I need to send something back. I've shown you the watch already. It's working. If you can hear that. See the second time going around. Anyway, yeah, that's that. Here's this is my hip flask. I think this could be First World War, partially because of its age. It's got a hallmark there. It says LAE rather, 18th. It's got a rather suspecting rifle butt shaped dent in it, if you have a look. So that's quite nice. It had a little bit of brandy in it left when I bought it. It was from a charity shop. They should have checked. Anyway, I brought it away. This is a Mary box. They were given to all troops, all British and Commonwealth troops that were in the First World War in 1914. It was designed by Queen Mary to keep morale up for the troops. This is an original, and it's in pretty good nick, I'd say. Don't intend to polish it because you'll be losing all that originality. It's got all the main powers that were fighting against the Germans and the Austro-Hungarians and the Turks. Inside, I'm trying to find some reproduction inside for it. It would originally have tobacco inside for smokers, chocolate for non-smokers. It would have a postcard from the King and Queen saying thank you for fighting, basically. And this came with it as well, which is a Wiltshire Regiment cap badge, original First World War. So yeah, inside I've also got a Wiltshire Regiment medal in its box. It's a marksmanship medal. It's the bottom of the box, and I've also got this as well, which is a First World War original disc tag. I saw it for sale, and I'm pretty sure this was meant to have been left on the body, so I don't know how I managed to buy this. So yeah, it's got the serial number. CE means Church of England, and RE stands for Royal Engineers, I believe. That's Robertson. There's the serial number. So that's that. Now, some of you might be going, oh my god, why has he got an iron cross there? But that's because quite a lot of soldiers used to take things off prisoners of war or dead Germans. So I got a 1914 iron cross here. It used to be iron cross second class, but the hoop for the ring broke, so I had to turn it into a first class. So that's that. Most people in the First World War and around that time smoked. A crazy amount of people smoked back then because they just didn't know how bad it was for you. So here I got my pipe, fake pipe, and I got a selection of old tobacco tins that I've collected. So it's a Player's medium cut. This one I've got a reproduction inside for it. There's the inside. And there's that. So that's that. I got this. I'll show you. Start with this one. This I think is 1901 or 2 dated. So I managed to trace the company. So it's incredibly old and rare. Still works incredibly well. It's got serial number inside somewhere. I can't remember where it was. Anyway, that's quite interesting. The company went out of use in the 1960s, but because the serial number means it's from 1901 or 2, which is pretty awesome. So it could be Victorian. Now this is a in perfect condition, I would say. Insides of this. This is log cabin, Cavendish or Negro head. I do not support any racist things at the time. Just before anyone goes and screams at me about being racist, but they just need to accept it. Everyone needs to accept it. It was common back then. Even though it's not that nice, it was common. So anyway, here, so that's, I think that is from around about the same time as that one there. I need to research it a bit more. So yeah, it's still got the nice original label that would have gone all the way around, to make sure that you've paid customs duty on it, etc, etc. These are original, I think they're Victorian matches. I'm not sure. It's empty. you'll be absolutely astonished at how much I pay for most of these cigarette stuff. So yeah, this I paid 50p for that, and 50p for both of those, and that. This is a lighter. It's First World War Prussian, I think, because it's got the eagle on it. It's a shame though that it's missing one of the screws at the bottom, which means you can't attach a wick to it. That's missing the other screw from the other side here, so it means it doesn't particularly work very well. Still quite nice. I think it's Prussian, I'm not sure. And I would have had that because I'd have either bought it if I was on a trip to Germany before the war, or if I'd taken it off a dead German. Moving on to these. Warlock, Lambert Baker. I think this is from the 1890s. I think. I'm not sure. You see quite a lot of Sphinx things. And I think that was because of the Sudan War. I'm not sure. Got some more Players Navy cut cigarette box here. You might have seen that in another one of my videos. And I got Sweet Crop tobacco box from Cohen Weed Co in London. I think that could be like very late 1890s, 1910s maybe. Anyway, so it's pretty nice. It's got ventilation holes as well, tobacco breathe. This is a reproduction Players Navy cut cigarette packet. I do have originals of these, but I can't find them at the moment. This is slightly post World War One, 1920s art / Art Deco cigarette box. If it wants to open, yeah, you'd have your cigarettes in there. So there's that. So that basically wraps up all my pocket litter, and I think that's the end of all my First World War stuff. I'll show you my map case and one other thing. This is my Second World War jackknife, but I gather it's almost the same as a First World War One. Second World War, same as First World War almost. So yeah, I was given this by a veteran, which I think is pretty nice. Well, I was given it by a reenactor who was given it by a veteran. So yeah, it might not be correct, but it's just because I literally are quite low on money and can't really go dishing out lots and lots of money buying expensive replicas. Just forgot to mention that I've also got this, which is wallet, similar to the type that I've had back then. Here you'd keep your money, 20 shilling notes, £5 notes, etc. And then you'd have your cards there, your stamps there, and keep other things in it that are of use. So probably be using that for keeping stuff like my money in.